Hello everyone, so today we are going to be making a sourdough bread with some roasted garlic and black olives. I will have the full recipe of this bread in the description below the video. So all we're going to do for now is basically just orderly flour. Remember that with sourdough, time is our biggest ingredient. So to our water, we're just going to simply add our flour and mix it all through and just let it sit for a couple of hours. In this instance, I'm using a mixture of 2 flours, just a regular organic bread flour and also Korosan. Now Korosan is an ancient grain flour and I just love the texture it brings to the bread. So here's our dough. We're just going to cover it for a couple of hours and then we're going to come back and add our starter to it together with our salt and a little bit more water. While our flour and water is resting, I've roasted the garlic. So I just did 2 whole heads of garlic. So I simply just cut off the tips and drizzle them with olive oil and just pop them into the oven on a tray on 180 degrees for about half an hour. So I've got 2 of these that I'm just going to de-skin and I'm going to chop them up roughly, ready to go into our dough. So our flour has been auto-leasing for the past 3 hours. It's nice and elastic now, as you can see. This is what time does to flour and water, develops lovely gluten. So we're just going to add our starter. Just cover it up. So it's been half an hour and we are now going to add our extra water and our salt. So I'm just going to wet my hand again and kind of dimp the dough. So I'm adding in some pink Himalayan salt and our extra water. And we're just going to fold this through. We're going to kind of mush it in first and then fold. Oh, I was not happy. Kind of howling behind the door. He knows he's not allowed in here while I'm baking, cooking in general. Not that he jumps on the benches or anything, but still. Alright, so we're going to leave this be for another 30 minutes. And we are going to come back and perform our first set of stretch and fold. Alright, so we're going to do our first set of stretch and folds. We're going to do a total of 4, 30 minutes apart, and during the last 2 we are going to add our roasted garlic and black olive mixture. So we're just going to let this rest for another half hour and then we'll do our second one. Alright, so our dough had 2 sets of stretch and folds. So this is what we look like now, quite smooth. There's a bit of bubbles on the surface there. I just wanted to show you how I'm going to incorporate the olives with the roasted garlic into this dough. So this is my mixture. I do like my olives to be whole, however you can chop them up into pieces and pop them in, it's up to you. So we're just going to scoop some of this on. Alright, so we are going to do our last set of stretch and folds, and then we're going to let the dough bulk rise for about 3 hours. In 3 hours since our last stretch and fold, so the bulk rise is over, and we are just going to shape our dough and pop it into the Banneton and into the fridge overnight. Okay, so I have floured my Banneton with some rice flour. Now we're going to flour the top of our dough as well with some semolina flour. Flip it. Gently scoop it up and pop it in. Gonna tighten our dough up a little bit more with this stitch pattern. Ready for nap time. Hello everyone. So it's time to bake our loaf. I have been preheating the oven for the past hour on max. Together with my baking vessel. So I'm gonna pop our bread on. Pop him on. Brand new blade to score this bread with. Alright. Just gonna do a simple pattern. So it's been 25 minutes. We can take the lid off our bread. Let's have a look. It smells great, by the way. Oof, oof. Wow. Look at that bad boy. Okay, so we're gonna leave it in there for another 15 minutes to crust up. Just going to turn the temperature down to 200. Just a little tip for you, if you prefer your breads a bit more crunchy and crusty, then leave the lid on the loaf for only 10 minutes and then reduce the oven temperature and have the lid off for the rest of the bake, and it's going to give you a crustier loaf. Here we go. Our loaf is done and cooled. Just going to show you. Got a bit of an ear, another one here. Let's cut into it. Oh, yum. It is so bubbly and soft, still a bit warm. Happy baking, everyone. I really do hope you try this recipe. It's very delicious.